Welcome back to Give Me Five with Jones and Eli. Eli, I give you a paperclip and you get 20 minutes to hide it anywhere in your house. The FBI is then going to come and inspect the house. And if they find it, you go to prison for the rest of your life. Where are you putting that paperclip?
So I think there's two kind of ways I could go with this here. Number one, and I feel like this is the way a lot of people would go, would be number one is to swallow it, right? Or get it inside of you somehow. If I put that in a little cake and I eat it and it goes down into my intestines, into my stomach or whatever, I feel like I got a good chance of hiding it. My only worry is it's kind of obvious, right? Because I think I've talked to a few people about what they do, and they've all kind of said similar things. And so I feel like the FBI then would also kind of have a similar stance on that. And I feel like they could take me to a X-ray machine, or maybe they have some special, sensor devices or whatever. So maybe it's not the best way to do it. So the second way I would say would be put it like next to the wick of a candle and make a huge candle, like, about this big, and it's just inside the wax in there. They would never think. They just think, oh, look, a candle. Little did they know there's a paperclip inside of it.
No, I think they're going to inspect that. And I feel like swallowing it is kind of cheating. That's not really somewhere in the house.
Of course it is.
But they're gonna, regardless, I think they're gonna find it. I think some key places to think about is if you have any intense wiring, right? Whether that's electrical wiring or like TV gaming setup wiring, kind of tucking it in one of those crannies, or even like sliding it inside the TV if that's possible, putting it inside some electrical mechanism. I don't know if they're going to be destroying all these things. They probably will at some point, but I think that would be an interesting place to do it. I think an obvious place, the first place that comes to mind is in the toilet tank. If you could like bury it somewhere deep in one of those plunger things. But I suppose that's FBI 101. They'd probably snuff that out. And I also like somewhere in the machinery of the oven. I think if you could tuck it into one of those kind of slits when you get into the oven, I don't know what type of oven you have, but if there's little things like up there that you could get it in, I think that might be a tough place to find it.
I think any sort of nook or cranny they're looking at. I think, honestly, the best way to do this might be the hiding it in plain sight scenario. Maybe instead of hiding it, you actually unhide it. You go to the store and you buy 2,000 paper clips, and all of a sudden your paperclip is in with those 2,000 paperclips, and now they literally have no idea where it is. I used to play a game when I was younger with my grandma, and it would be like hide this object or whatever in plain sight, and the best way to do it would be to put it with other things that are like that. And I think maybe that's the way you go about it.
The needle in the haystack method. That
Exactly.
core. What if I like feed it to my dog? Well, are they going to be checking my dog too? You think?
That's the same kind of logic
Right.
behind that, why I would personally swallow it. But I feel like, yeah, they would check those ways. I don't know how they would do it. I'm not in the FBI. I don't know what kind of technology they have access to, but I think, yeah, that would probably get checked.
And is flushing it down the toilet a no? That would be leaving the house
I
because
Yeah, I
I
think
feel
it
like
has to
that's the
stay
same
in the home.
ingestion. That's the same kind of process as ingestion.
No,
Flushing.
not really, not really, because like I think, yeah, when you're flushing it, it's going now into the ocean or wherever it goes. I don't know the mechanics of your plumbing or whatever, but like it goes somewhere.
Mhm.
Whereas when you swallow it, it's still in you, right? Eventually, it's going to come out of you. That raises a whole other problem: is how long is the FBI going to be there for, right? Because
I
if
think they're going
they
to stay. They're going to stay as long as they need to crack the old
but do
case.
they? But then do they know that it's there? Because if they know there's a paperclip player, they could stay there forever. I think we have to give them some sort of time limit.
But if they don't, why would they search it if they don't? So in this scenario, they have no idea if it's there or not. But they're just
Okay,
random search.
Okay, so that's what you're saying. Because then that makes sense. If they think, oh, there's a paperclip in one of 20 houses, we're gonna come search
Mm,
your house and do the whole thing. That's different than if
okay.
they say, we know there's a paperclip in your house. We're gonna do everything we can to get it.
I like it in terms of the one of 20 houses because if they know
Okay.
it's there, they're eventually
Yeah,
going to find it, right?
that's what I'm
That's
saying. Yeah,
just
that's why I thought there was a time limit, maybe, or something.
what if I bring up like I don't know if you still have this, but I still have like full on rugs in my house, not like area rugs, but like rugs. What if I pull that up, like glue it in the middle of that rug somewhere where you'd have to pull it up to find it and then paste it back down? What if I did something like that?
In that same vein, I was thinking as well, like, what about inside a pillow? Like, you could take a pillow, open the pillowcase, like, go inside, put it in with the feathers. Like, we're underestimating how small a paperclip really is. Especially, this is something where, like, it's changeable. If you make it into a straight line, that's really hard to find. And I'm even thinking, like, make it into a straight line and stick it inside of like a pen or something, that could be great.
That could actually take the cake, right? It has all these morphing abilities. What if I make it into a little like heart and put it as part of like one of those cheesy posters that says like, this is our nest? Are they really going to say, that was once a paperclip? Like the FBI is smart. I don't know if they're that smart though.
Do you think there's a way you could get it inside a shoelace? Because shoelace is really like, I feel like if there's a way you could thread it in the top there because it's also sharp. They're sharp on the ends, right? The paperclip, especially if you straighten it out. I feel like you could jam it in to one of those things.
Yeah, maybe if you have like the thick like Air Force One shoelaces, that could work. Just another reason to get Air Force Ones. This has been Gimme Five with Jones and Eli. A reminder to follow us on TikTok and Instagram for a chance to suggest our next pod topic. Eli, thanks for talking.
Always a pleasure, Jones. Talk to you soon.